Hello, my name is Lynn Edsel, and I'm with Metropolitan Barber Academy in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Today we're going to show you how to do a basic tapered haircut using no guards with your 76er clipper. First thing we're going to do is apply a little water to make the hair a little easier to work with. Okay, we're going to comb that out a little bit. And we are going to be doing clipper over comb work with a detachable blade clipper. To make this real easy for you to understand, we're going to start out with our 1.5 blade. Before I get started, you can see it, 1.5 blade. What we're going to do with that blade is we're going to go around the bottom. 1.5 is a perfect length to start our taper. And you can actually start your taper and pull away from the hair, away from the skin, and it will actually begin your taper process. 1.5, the reason why we chose the 1.5 is it's long enough. If you actually taper it up too high, you won't get yourself in too much trouble. But we're going to continue this process. I started at the temple area, and I'm going to work to the back. You can see where that 1.5 is leaving a little bit of a line of demarcation, but we're going to get that out with our clipper over comb. Okay? We're going a real short distance against the scalp, and if you move the clipper away from the scalp, you actually can start that taper process up through the hair. You're actually getting rid of some of the hair that you want to get rid of later anyways. Okay? And we go right to the middle of the back. So I'm going to do the same thing. Go right to the other temple and start it again. Put that 1.5 blade right up against the skin and then come off, and you can actually get rid of some of that extra bulk of hair. So again, that's a 1.5 blade. It's a perfect length to set into the bottom of your taper. If you do go a little high, your 1.5 it's long enough where you can probably fix whatever you got into a little too high. Okay, this is my 1.5. I come and finish the neckline. All right, now I'm going to switch to a number 1 blade. Now the reason why I use a number 1 blade is I'm doing clipper over comb. In your clipper over comb process, I'm using a wall clipper comb. And your whole process is, okay, your technique is your comb. Whatever you pick up on your comb, you want to cut right smoothly across the comb. I use a 1 blade because it cuts right close to the comb. If you use a 1.5 or a 2, you're actually taking your comb out of play, and you're using the comb plus another guard. I want to cut right up against. This is my guard in this process, so I want to cut what's right on the comb. So I use a number 1. Now you can use a smaller blade, but if you happen to miss the comb and touch up against the hair, then you're gonna leave a chunk in the hair. With a 1, if you do miss, you normally clean that up. I'm going to switch the hair again, and I'm going to work temple to back, then temple to back. And I'm going to take, you can see where my line of demarcation is there for my 1.5. And here's the key to the comb. You want to keep your comb perpendicular, okay? You can twist it up and down, but don't angle it. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to pull that hair right straight from the head, and you're cutting what's right behind, okay? It's like a 90-degree cut using finger work. So angle your comb up and down this way. You can twist your comb, just don't angle it. Okay. So I'm going to come right below where my 1.5 ended. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to make a row of hair. I'm probably moving the comb about 1/2 inch at a time. Okay. Cutting exactly what's on the comb. Now when I go to my next section, watch, I can actually see what I've cut and what I haven't cut. So I'm moving, that's creating a guide, moving one section at a time. And as I come up, I'm moving away from the head, creating a tapered haircut. Because a tapered haircut is shortest at the nape, longest at the crown. So it's shortest here, longest here. grab that hair right above the 1.5 line, about every 1/2 inch, come right straight up and cut till I run out of hair. Your last swipe is almost with nothing on the comb. Okay, and you can see already it's starting to taper right into place. Now, here's where I say you can move your comb this way, just don't move it this way. Because you have to angle around the ear. About every 1/2 inch. Move the comb up, cut what's on the comb. Run that clipper right over smoothly. Not at an angle, not at an angle like this. Smoothly right over the comb. Okay, I'm going to keep on going back towards the back. Every 1/2 inch. Right straight up. As I'm going towards the top, I'm pulling away. Tapered, shortest, longest. And you see how I have the white comb? This gentleman has dark hair, and you can see the dark hair better with the white comb. Now, I'm not using the hair to cut. I'm actually, as I come through my stroke, I'm pulling that hair farther away from the head. So I'm actually using the comb and the distance from his head to guide it. But actually, if you wanted to use this to cut whatever hair that's right on the top of the comb, you can that way. If you think you missed something, you can judge it by the white comb. Okay, I did temple to back. Now, like I said, I'm going to do temple to back again. Start from the bottom, work to the top, till you run out of hair. If this is a new process that you haven't practiced a lot, if there's a section that you thought you could do better, go back and do it again. Every time you do this technique, you get better at it. Just practice. Okay, now cut the sides. Temple the back from one side, temple the back the other side. Now I'm going to cut the top using clipper over comb technique also. Again, this is a resemblance of your finger work. Okay, when I do my finger work, make my partings and I move front to back. I'm going to do the same thing using my clippers. Okay. I'm going to wet the hair a little bit. And I'm going to keep the comb parallel with the head. I'm going to create a center guide. And right now I got the comb about 1.5 inches off the head. That's the length that I want the center guide to be. And what I'm doing is I'm moving front to back. And I want to keep my comb east to west. I don't want to start doing different angles. I want to go front to back. And what I'm going to do is I did the center guide. Now I'm going to come maybe like at a 90-degree angle. Because what I have to do is I have to take that 1.5 inch length and bring it down and match it to probably about 1 inch length on the side that I have it. I do one row at a time, front to back. But I'm only cutting until I get to the point where I can't see. I don't want to reach over the edge because I can't see that. And I bring it right down so it matches the length of the sides. Okay, and you can see there we roughed it in, but that's cut from about 1.5 inches there down to about 1 inch. And when you use that method, it blends it right into the side. You might have a little shingling to do, but it's just pretty much cut the length that you need. I'm going to turn you this way. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And you see I cut to the left side when I'm standing on that side, and I'm cutting the right side, standing on the right side. Very important that you cut facing whatever you want to cut right in front of you. And picking up that length. Okay, cut until it starts to be a stretch. Then I'm coming back, work the angle down, and little by little, I'm bringing that length down to match in with what the length is for the sides. Okay, which I'm pretty much right there. Okay, now I've done both sides. Did a center guide one side, center guide the other side. So what I have right now is I have their forward cut. Now I need to cut the back. Do the same thing. I'm gonna start in the middle. I'm gonna work my center guide. I have this cut and I have that cut. So I need to move from here to here and do my center guide. And I'm working against the grain here to pick up the hair, create my center guide. Now the middle's cut. And what I do is match in one side. And the other. But when you use this technique, it saves you a lot of time. Somebody that has a pretty thick head of hair, you can get through it and move through the hair length a lot quicker using clipper over comb. All right, that's what I have to show you. The basic haircut's done. Now all you have to do is trimmer work and any finish work you have. But that's the method where you can use clipper over comb. Again, using a number one blade over a wall clipper comb, and that's the technique. You can see that the haircut minus a little finish work is already set in there and ready to go.